Hello, welcome to a visit with Nana and Papa. I'm Nana.
I'm Papa.
We're coming to you from Austin, Texas. This is Sunday, September something.
24th. 092423.
So this is the last Sunday in September, so next Sunday will be October. Wow, that's crazy. That's because 30 days has September, April, June, and November.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we're going to do things kind of different this time. We're going to do books and yarn, and then we'll do a life update at the end, so those of you who are interested in the life update can stick around, and those of you who aren't can go see ya, and that way everything is much more happiness and joy for everybody. Now you notice that I am not wearing my glasses. They're right here.
Yeah, I'm supposed to take mine off, but
when we started doing this, we found out that when Valerie actually looks at y'all, which doesn't happen very much because she's knitting, then you get this glare and this reflection and all this, and then she turns into some kind of creature from outer space. But that's helpful, baby. No.
I could do that.
No.
I have no idea what it looks like.
You will. Anyway, I took my glasses off because I have kindness in my heart, and Valerie left her glasses on because I can't see anything.
Because he can see the screen.
I can.
Because he can't see way over there, and I can take this out and I can see those buildings without issue. But that screen is complete blurred.
So see, I can look over my glasses and read. She can look over her glasses and go, what the hell is that?
I can't see anything. Here, just way out there, I can see real well. But
so, see, it's a good thing she's got the pathway to the bathroom memorized, and it's a bad thing if I forget to move my shoes. And they might be in the pathway she has memorized to the bathroom, and then I wake up and put my shoes away. I'll leave it to you to figure out how I wake up.
This is true. So what books have you been reading?
A few. I didn't get a lot of reading done while we were in Dallas. I tried, but it did not work out that well. I read Jacob Pepper's City of Steel and Shadow. It is the last Immortal
Okay.
series, I believe is what it's called.
Did you enjoy it?
No, it's the Last Eternal. The Last Eternal series. And yeah.
Would you recommend it?
I would recommend you start at the beginning of the series.
Right, but would you recommend the series?
Jacob Peppers
scary?
is really a good author. He has a wide gamut of what he writes about. He writes sword and magic fantasies stuff. He writes space operas with space battles and Earthlings being trod on by bad guys and Earthlings going and trotting on bad guys, or sometimes the Earthlings are the bad guys. But he's got a wide gamut of things that he writes. Nothing really terrifying. I think you could read it. He doesn't have he's not one of the people who likes to tell you all about the sex if somebody has sex. In fact, most of the time he doesn't even mention anybody having sex. And if he does, it's a cursory mention of, yeah, guess what? John got laid. Wow, okay. Anyway, move on. If it's important to the story to know that John got laid, he'll let you know. He figures that if you know what John getting laid means, he does not have to explain it. If you don't know what it means, then he doesn't have to explain it. I like the way he thinks. So Jacob Peppers is Peppers. Give him a Google. Look and see what he's got.
Down below.
He's got all kinds of stuff,
stories.
And I think you'll enjoy him. We are also listening and reading, getting ready for the release of Book 3. Valerie starting out with A Plague of Giants, It's Kevin Hearn.
And I
Epic fantasy.
really enjoyed the Iron Droid series, and I think I was listening to this book, and I tried listening to it again early this morning, and I'm not enjoying the listening, and I think it's because I'm not understanding who's who, because I loved the same narrator did the Iron Druid series, and I enjoyed it very, very much. I'm not enjoying this in how it's written and being read. So what I've decided is I'm going to read it.
Okay.
So if you're done reading it
you
now,
can go ahead and read it now,
I'll
baby.
go ahead and read it instead. I don't like reading when I'm knitting because it interferes with my knitting. But I will. I'm going to read it instead.
And part of the problem is there are so many characters in the books, and he's going to have to come up with distinct, recognizable voices for each one. So I don't know that he actually did that for you. It sounds
a little
like
bit,
the
but
voices are not doing what you need.
Not enough. And I'm not understanding. Like, I had to ask him because I was so confused.
The premise of the book is a storyteller.
But I don't want to give anything away. But just know that it's not your typical start with the same character and follow that one character throughout the book. There's so many characters, so each chapter may be different characters, like you may introduce to different ones along the way. And I trying to listen to it while I'm cleaning house and while I'm doing laundry and while I'm knitting, I was missing too much or not understanding or not following, and it just made it for not the best. I think I either need to just start from scratch and listen to it while I'm knitting only, so I'm sitting there focused in on what's being said, or I need to read it, because it's not something that you can miss something and have any clue of. There's too much happening that if you miss something, you really miss something.
Yeah, you have to put the book on pause for bathroom breaks.
Yeah, it's not something you can.
Or take it with you.
Anyway.
But
But
not to give anything away, but here's how the story works. You have a storyteller. And imagine the earthquake in San Francisco in 1908. It was witnessed by many. It was actually felt by many. But there were people on boats that saw it. There were people on the land in different parts of the city got affected differently. So back in 1908, they did not have our kind of TV news and standards. But what they had was very informative newspaper articles. So the newspaper guy would go out and he would interview people, and then he would write his story based on the interviews. What you're getting in this particular series of Kevin Hearn books is basically the reporter, but the reporter is giving you the story from each person that he interviewed. They don't necessarily interact with each other at all, but they are all talking about the same event. With this one, it would be an invasion of giants. With my premise, it would be the earthquake in San Francisco in 1908.
okay, we're gonna.
So that's how that works.
You keep slipping into the details, so we're gonna. Sorry, spoilers. I'll put in little spoilers.
No, there's no really spoilers.
You
None
just
at all.
did.
What?
You don't know that it's the who
What
it
the
is
name of
that
the book is A Plague of Giants. What do you think that means?
Yes, dear.
What's a plague?
Anyway.
An infestation. What's a giant? Big ass person. You have a plague of giants. That's an invasion of giants. Boom. I did not give anything away that's not in the title.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, so have I read anything else other than that? No, I have not listened to or read any other books. Yeah. No.
Since we were sick.
Watching, the only thing that we've watched is Star Trek
Lower Decks.
Lower Decks, which I could take it or leave it.
It's occasionally funny, and when it's funny, it's funny. When it's not,
it's not.
It's not. And it's whether or not you're willing to sit through the not to get to the funny. So far, I've found it to be a fair trade-off. She's not quite as sure about how fair that trade-off is, but still. Anyway.
I mean, I don't think it's horrible, but I've never been a huge fan of people in cartoons, with the exception of Up. But I don't see Up as a cartoon of people. Yes, there were 4 people maybe total in it, but it wasn't just people, and it had animated animals. And
for you, it was more about the dog. You were all about the dog. That's your favorite character.
I mean, the whole story was great, but it wasn't a story of just people.
What's your favorite thing about the dog? Squirrel.
Because I relate to squirrel. But yeah, I'm just not I never really cared for animated people.
And it seems to be very popular because there's a whole lot of it available out there. It used to be cartoons were for kids. Now cartoons are for kids. Animated is for adults.
I don't know. It's just never been my cup of tea. And then I would never judge someone for watching it because everybody likes their own different things. Same with, what was that thing with Jon Snow? What's that series?
Game of Thrones.
I'm not a huge Game of Thrones. I don't watch it. I heard a lot of it, but not like, hey, I'm going to watch it. I just heard it. But I would never say, oh, it's bad. It's just not my cup of tea. Anyway.
We have been watching
I feel like we watched something else.
No, we missed the last 2 episodes of Wheel of Time, but that's okay because next week, I think this week is the last week, or a couple more weeks of it. I don't know, but
it's been okay, but it hasn't been.
I'm not all that depressed about missing the Wheel of Time on Amazon because it says it's based on Robert Jordan's books, but it's not. It
got the same names.
It's
the same name, same world.
It's as based on that as that movie that we saw about Samson was based on the Bible. Obviously, they didn't read it because they got the story way different.
Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about knitting.
It's been too dark of a series for us to watch unless Valerie's in a really good head and heart space.
I can't be in.
And it has not. It's not conducive to the last couple of weeks that we've had. So, on to yarn. This is a sweater for our granddaughter.
You want to hold it? Just go up. It's bound off. I just want to show that I did a folded hem, and then up here I did a rolled hem. I did a purl row and then a rolled hem, and then on the sleeves I did ribbing. And yes, I know they're all different, but I really wanted to show the folks because this is the Vibes tee. The designer's name is Tiff Nealon. This is my second. I have a third on the needles, and I just wanted the folks that are doing the knit along to be able to see. You just knit so many rows that however long you want the hem to be, and then you fold it over and do a 3 needle bind off. For my 3 needle bind off that I did down here, I started to try to do Icelandic and it just made too much bulk. So I did a standard 3 needle bind off, but what I did is I used a needle size 2 sizes bigger so that it still has stretch and it's not super tight. So, but otherwise it's 2 pattern. I only use 3 colors. The colors of the yarn are Motherland, Hive Mind, and Katinka. These are all colors from Treehouse Knits, and I don't know what it means, but they're from her collection. It's from a TV show, Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. I have a lot of people telling me I need to watch Stranger Things, and I have not.
If you watch it, you
Stranger
can
Things.
see if I can watch it, but I'm not watching it until you've actually watched it. But yeah, and I love this Hive Mind, and I love the Katinka, and I really like the Motherland with it. I think those colors are just beautiful. I hope my granddaughter likes it.
I think she will.
But it is finished, and it's fully finished. Just so you guys can see, I did weave in all of the ends. In here, I did, so I didn't have to have ends for the brown. I just did it's called the ladderback jacquard. And it, you just do a chain. And then in the back, so that you don't have to weave in, because I was literally running this every few rows, so it was less to do than it would be to weave in both ways.
Yeah, I was bummed because I opened up my Facebook yesterday and I discovered that my granddaughter had tried to Facebook video chat with me, and I was not near my computer, so I missed it. So I was very bummed. And I asked her, she's 10 years old now. So she may not really want to be called Monster anymore. She may have another name that she would prefer to be called.
She may prefer her given name. Who knows?
Papa asked her what she would like to have for me to call her. Her sister, when I asked Bugs if she wanted a new nickname or if Bugs was all right, she said Bugs is good. So she's still Bugs. She was my first, and she will always be my first. Came across pictures of Papa taking her fishing at multiple stages of her life. I don't think she fishes anymore, but once upon a time that girl could catch a fish.
And finished object number 2. This is amalgamation of several patterns. I know, but don't freak out, y'all. I did a raglan. It's not perfect. There's a couple of spots that aren't exactly right, but I caught it on the next row, so I think it's okay. The color of this, and I'm so glad because this is finally showing the accurate color, because every time I would take pictures it would be so awful. But this is accurate color. This color is called Deciduous, and it is by Stranded Dyeworks, Jude. And what I did is I followed the Flax Light, because this is fingering weight, but instead of doing, it has you do purl ridges down here, or garter ridges. I didn't do that. And instead of just a regular, I did 10 stitches in between the raglan increases on all 4 points. And I don't know, but I just think it kind of looks cool and different. It's not so plain, and it's definitely, I don't think it looks too feminine or frou-frou.
Yeah.
And for the bottom hem, I just did 1x1 ribbing, and I made the size 4. I was hoping to give it to Jude at Rhinebeck, but he will not be going to Rhinebeck. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get it to him. Probably going to have to send it, which won't be for a while because I can't afford it.
It costs as much to send it as it costs to buy the yarn. So that's going to turn into about a $300 or $400 sweater by the time Jude gets it.
But I may, if he's planning on coming back to the U.S. for SSK next year, then what I may do is send it over to La Knits so that they can hold it for him. I don't know. I haven't...
We'll get it to him somehow.
I haven't sorted it out, but it's done and it's finished. So now, on to whips.
Whips and chains.
And so, first
Because-
let's talk, I want to talk about fails. Let's talk about fails. Because sometimes, we talk about all the successes and we don't necessarily.
That is an article I read in the New York Times earlier this week. Is we are doing our children a disservice by not teaching them how to fail.
Yeah, and
Because they're going to fail. You're not going to be successful at everything you do in life. So,
and if you don't do things because you might fail, you will never succeed.
It takes failure to succeed. You learn from your mistakes. But if you don't make any mistakes, you never learn. I'm not a fan of Thomas Edison.
But it's not even that. Like, if you don't risk the possibility of failure, you leave yourself no possibility of moving into something new or learning new or moving up, or so you cannot be successful because you're holding your. I can't do it perfect, so I'm not gonna. That's a bad place to live.
I'm not a fan of Thomas Edison because he was not he really was not an inventor. He was an entrepreneur. He hired inventors and then he took credit for their inventions. If you worked for Edison, Edison's name went on the patent for whatever you created. That's how it worked. But somebody was giving him a hard time about the light bulb because it took 200 tries to get the incandescent light bulb to work. And they were giving him grief about the other bulbs. And he said, don't you consider yourself a failure? And he said, no. I found 199 ways that a light bulb won't work before I found the one way that it will. If he hadn't tried the other 199, he may not have gotten to 200. You know what the famous, everybody's got a can in their garage, WD-40. You know what that stands for? Water Displacement Formula 40. It was a contracted oil that failed to meet the expectations of the people it was made for, so they had 55-gallon drums of this stuff. The guy took it home, put it in his garage, and he used it. And when friends needed something, he would give them a little sample, and they would take it. That stuff's great, it works. And the next thing he knew, he went back to the people he worked for and asked if he could buy that formula. And he bought that formula, and they didn't do anything. They might have been Texans, I don't know, because they didn't do anything special with the name. They said, what do we got? We have Water Displacement Formula 40. Oh, okay. We'll sell this as WD-40.
All right. So
she tore apart that beautiful sweater, y'all.
it was a sweater. It was split for sleeves. It was moving on, but I did not like how these were tacked down because they were pointing up, and I was not a fan. So
she thought they looked like nipples.
They did.
I don't think so.
Anyway, so I ripped it out, but in order to get this section undone from where these are tacked down, I don't even know how I did it, but I tacked them down before I joined this side. So this side is joined and this side is ripped out. So now I have to redo this. And yesterday, or I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
I tried and tried and tried, and I don't even lost track of how many times I started and ripped out and started and ripped out and started and ripped out, because for some reason I can't remember how I did it the first time, and it was looking horrible, 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 horrible. So it got chucked into the "we're not knitting you right now, I'm pissed off at you."
It got put in timeout.
It got put in the FU bag, because I literally said the FU words
a few times.
Yeah. So
almost made me blush.
Also in the same bag, if you know what I mean, this is my Ranunculus that was split for sleeves and is no longer split for sleeves. And it's in the bag because I ripped it back because I need to do short rows, but when I put it back on the needles, like ripped it out and took it off the needles, I did not save where those sleeves are. So now I have to count. Once I find the actual beginning of round, then I gotta count over and find my sleeves, and then I can mark where I need to do my short rows, and then I can actually get back to knitting it. And since I'm so mad at every bit of that entire just brief conversation, I also said the F word to the sweater and shoved it in this bag, so it's not the bag's fault. Oh, by the way, this bag, I will have the maker. She's on Etsy. I really like her bags. I cannot remember the shop name, but it'll be in the list. I'll put it in the thing below. But I really like her bags, especially the big one. When you're making sweaters, it'll hold all the yarn.
See, we laugh a little bit about things that are probably not funny to other people, but they are to us, because when shit happens, we use, there's a saying that gets said, F a duck. The F sounds like duck. And as I smacked something on my toe, and after I said that, I told my wife, as much duck effery happens around here, we should have some eggs. Where are they? And I made her laugh. So my mission is complete because I made her laugh. I love to hear her laugh. I love to see her smile. And
you do.
Apparently, duck effery works. There you go. Where's the eggs?
So then, I have another Vibes tee on the needles. I don't have it in here. Y'all have seen it. It's the purple one, pink one. And I'm knitting on it on a Zoom yesterday with Barbara from Flame and Fiber and her followers and Leslie. So good to see them. But anyway, I'm on the Zoom and I'm knitting on it, and I look and I realize where I'm at, and I look at the pattern, and 9 rows back, I skipped an increase. So I have to rip back 9 rows and do the increase round and then re-knit those 9 rows. Of those 9 rows, there's 3 colors. So I have to rip out what I've done in the current color, rip out the next color, and then rip out a couple rows of that color, and then...
Is that increase really that important?
Yes, because... without the increase, it doesn't come flat. It goes.
She started a sweater for me, but she's gonna have to take it apart.
And I'm gonna show you. It's right here. I don't have to take it apart. I just have to start over, sort of, kind of. Anyway.
Does that sound like take it apart, or?
No, I have.
Does it sound like the duck's getting it again?
It's a little bit of the duck getting it again.
That duck, I tell you.
So
that duck's a slut.
So I was so frustrated that I set it aside, and Thursday on our Zoom I cast on this sweater, which is, and I'll show you better.
It's not a sweater, it's a hat.
I mean, this hat. I cast on this hat.
Sweater. It goes on my head, but I can't get it any farther.
I cast on this hat, which is the Hermes hat. It is by Beatrice Rubio, and if you don't know by now, I am a huge fan of Samba Knits, which is her business name. So if you don't follow, go check her out because she's awesome. But this is just a 2x2 rib hat, except for this little section of cables which runs up the hat, and I just think it's cute. It's like something without being too much.
Yeah.
And so I am knitting. I picked this up after that fiasco, and then for 2 reasons I didn't keep knitting on it. Reason number 1 is I wanted something different, and I wanted something for work this week that is knit. I can't knit on this while I'm on here. I can't knit on it on Zoom because
got that one little cable.
It has the little something, and you got to know where you're at for your something. So the other reason also is my friend Rebecca cast this on 2 weeks ago on Sunday, so 2 weeks ago today, and as of Thursday she was literally right here, And so really not fair to have it finished before I see her again. It's not nice. That's really not nice. So we set it aside, and I went, I want to cast something new on. Since all these other things are complete and utter failures, we're going to cast something else on. Well, as it happened, Joji Locatelli published a pattern yesterday called the Granny Cardigan. And the Granny Cardigan is an all-over cabled cardigan. And when I saw it, I thought of Jim and his wanting a cabled cardigan. And I showed it to him, and he liked it. And
I'm a granny now.
And he has wanted a cardigan that is all over cables for some time now.
20 years.
From me, you have not told me until 2 years ago. So don't be giving that. Not even 2 years ago.
3 years ago.
No.
Don't even. It was before COVID.
No, it was not
It
before
was
COVID
not.
that we searched for this yarn.
No, we searched green yarn originally, and we bought
Oh,
green
yeah, it
yarn
was, okay.
twice. We bought
Yeah, we
green
bought
yarn.
so much yarn. So probably
So,
before. 3 years ago.
Trust me.
Anyway, so I cast on this green sweater, and it was the yarn was the perfect color. You will admit, it was the color you wanted.
I loved the yarn.
It was very soft yarn.
I loved the yarn.
The yarn was 50% merino and 50% silk. And when you
drop
dropped the cable,
you went, "Whoosh."
it would go, and it would go down through that cable and another cable down below. It just,
And see, that's just incentive to not drop a stitch, but that's not how she saw it. That's incentive to unravel that son of a and start something different.
Well, no, because I kept going down and picking it up and going down and picking it up, but it kept happening and it kept happening. And I'm like, oh my God, I would wanted to chuck the damn thing out the window. So, I made him a green sweater. That's not cabled.
But that's a good sweater. I love that
And
sweater.
the pattern was by Beatrice Rubio, who she wrote the pattern because I asked her.
Did you make the green one first or the blue one first? I think you made the blue one.
I made the
first.
blue one first, but I made you a green sweater.
You did?
And so then
It's a good sweater. Y'all have seen me wear it, so you know.
I realized that I need some yarn that won't drop as bad.
And when our friend Rebecca was in town visiting for South by Southwest, we went and spent a day at
Yarn
yarn
shop.
shop, Hill Country Weavers, which we just found out that the owner died yesterday, so that's very sad. To all of our friends from Hill Country, you know, we feel bad. We were sad for you, and I hope
Yeah.
life goes on.
Um,
But anyway, Rebecca and I took a little wander and looking at yarn, and we found the yarn that I wanted, and I took a picture of the tag. Because don't do you any damn good to take a picture of the yarn if you don't take a picture of the tag. Well, thank you, honey. That's gray yarn.
so the yarn that he found was
I think
$29 a skein. And
I don't shop.
I know, but I'm just saying, and this cardigan that I was going to make for him required 12 of those skeins. So that immediately went, we're not making it with that yarn. We are not making it with that yarn.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want a sweater made out of Red Heart Super Saver. Because, you know, I don't. But I also don't want a yarn. I don't want a sweater that looks like the down payment on the car.
So what I did is we ordered Swish from Knit Picks, which is the exact same makeup, because the other yarn was 100% superwash merino. Swish is 100% superwash merino, so same content. these come in 50 gram balls instead of 100 gram balls, so that I needed way more than the other. But even adding all that up, it was almost half the cost. These are, I think they were $7.99.
I don't know.
So I don't remember. But anyway, and I got them on sale. So it was like a win-win-win-win. So I did cast on, and this, you work one shoulder and then you in the back, and then you work the other shoulder in the back, and then you bring those, then you join them together, and then you work down, and then when you get to split for sleeves, it has you put it on hold, and then you come back up and you work this, and then you work this, and then you join them, and you work that down. Well, I cast on the right number of stitches for the left back. And then I followed the instructions for the left back until about right, well, I can tell you exactly, until right here. So right here is when I messed up. Because I had, it said I needed to follow a different chart, so I scrolled down the pattern because I'm using a PDF reader, and I scroll to the right page for the chart. I look at the chart, I now know what I need to do on that chart, so I scroll back up and I start following that chart, that instruction for the left front instead of the left back. So I have now started the left front, and I was supposed to be making the left back. So I can still use this, but I was supposed to pick up stitches to do this. So now I need to pick up stitches to do that. But I'm not sure how, so now I gotta go through the pattern to see how I'm supposed to...
Wouldn't it be easier to just undo that and start over?
So I either have to rip this out, or I have to set this aside and start knitting the other, and then when it comes time to picking this up, instead of picking it up, I have to mattress stitch. So... doesn't
that sound like more work than just start over?
So I
haven't. It's only this much. It's not like she's got, I got this whole freaking sleeve up to your pit, and it's not going to take it all out.
But I will tell you that there were some duckery happening.
Yeah.
Because I was really upset with myself when I realized that I switched following the left back and started following the left front. So that got set aside.
There's a lot of shit gets set aside.
Because I was unhappy. And so I, this morning, decided to pick up another project, which I've since ripped out. I just ripped it. I picked up my colorwork sweater that I was working, and I hated it. Because I was holding the Holst Super Soft Double. And I don't want to hold the Holst Double. I like how it knits up single. So I decided, instead of even working anymore on that, y'all remember when I got my special package? I got a Zauberball in the mail from the Woolpatch. And so I have it wound at the moment, but this is from a cone of Holst Super Soft in the color Sweet Pea. I don't know if the camera will really get the colors in there, but we'll try. The colors are really, really, there's so many colors happening.
I don't think it's making it brighter than it is.
But anyway, and so I cast on this morning, and I'm loving it. I think that looks beautiful.
See how much more she gets accomplished when it's not a cable? I cast this on this morning. I've already got half a sweater done.
I do not
cast
have
this
a
cable
half
snip
an
with
inch.
it. I got that much done, and I don't want to tear it out because I got that much done.
That's because this is super condensed, and this is a lot of work. This
Not any work.
This is not. No, not really. This flies off the needles.
See, look at this. Look at this. Compare the two and stretch that butt booger up. Look at that. Yeah, just not a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
So I don't know
I love you.
whether the weather in New York is going to be crappy or nice, but it would be kind of cool if I actually finished this before Rhinebeck, because
you've only got, what, 20 sweaters to choose from you could take to Rhinebeck? You can call any one of these damn things a Rhinebeck sweater. It's never been there. They don't know.
I know, but I'm just saying it would be cool. Oh, and I haven't even said what the pattern is. We talked about the granny cardigan, but
That was mine, because I'm a granny now.
it's just the name of the pattern. This is the beginning of the Laurel Tea. Now, just because, if you're interested, I never do, not anymore, I don't do the collar, the ribbing, when I cast on. So if the instructions for the pattern say to start with the ribbing and then do other stuff, just like this one, I cast on after the ribbing, and then I immediately do whatever. I do the short rows, and then knit the sweater about to right here. So when I try it on, I want to be approximately here, and then I try it on, and then I pick up these stitches and I decrease for whatever the decreases were for the collar, unless I feel that it's still going to be too wide, and then I do instead my own decrease to bring it in even more. Or if I feel it's already tight, then I decrease less. Now I can just tell you from looking at this, I'm going to be decreasing more.
A lot more.
Because it only has 14 decreases. I will be doing more than the 14 decreases. But it does not say to cast on this way. It does not imply that you should knit it this way.
That looks like any one of our grandchildren under the age of 10 could crawl right through that. Put it down their feet, pull it up over their head, and never touch yarn.
I don't know about under 10, but definitely under 5 for sure, probably.
Well,
But-
it's all bunched up on cables right now. You let that bad beast loose, and it's gonna go twang.
Anyway,
So you could, when that gets off the needles, I bet you can put it over your head and down to your waist.
no way. No way. It's not that big. It's not.
At
it
least
may
to your
look.
bits.
No, it will
If
not.
you hold your arms up, I bet I can pull it right down.
It
and
is
go right
not
there.
as wide as you think it is.
I
It
think
is
it's
not.
wider than you
It
think
is
it
not
is.
as bunched up as you think it is either.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, long story short, this is the Laurel Sweater by Along Avec Anna. I have made it before. I loved making it. I made it with lots of errors. I don't know. This one will probably also have errors because I'm me. I don't tend to rip out the errors unless they're, like I said, don't fit. I'm having a lot of the don't fit at the moment, but we're going to move forward. I am very, very pleased. I feel like, and I don't know if it's going to come across to y'all, but this is a pink that in some light almost looks gray. And this is a brown. But I almost feel like together it almost looks like this is more of an eggplant than a brown.
And dark purple, but a lot of dark purples are look brown.
Yeah, I just think it's really the combination of the two are bringing out colors in each other that if I had any other color with this, it would look just brown. And if I had any other color with this, it might look more gray. And so I'm really pleased with how, and because it's a Zauberball, and the Zauberball is going to continue to change colors as we knit, as I knit the project, the color work will automatically transition to different colors. Like not from brown to yellow to purple to orange. It's just going to be different shades of brown, but it will change. And I think that's going to be really cool. Mm-hmm. And this, so much cheaper than Spin Cycle. Mm-hmm. This is 100 grams and costs less than a 50-gram skein of Spin Cycle.
Good to know.
Are you proud of me?
I'm always proud of you, beautiful.
Anyway, so that's where my knitting is at the moment. It's not, I haven't lost my mojo. I still want to knit. But it took me until I cast on this to really pick up something that wasn't making me angry or making me hate my knitting. So I'm happy to have something on the needles that's bringing me joy.
Now, on to something new and different. We don't usually discuss this. I get it. There we go. Don't even look at my ginger juju. Gin-gins. Discovered them by accident on Amazon. Gin-gins are little tiny ginger gumdrops. Where are you? There we go. They are delicious. But much like ginger, candied ginger, they're inconsistent. You get one gin that's just gingery. Good, that's tasty. I like that. You'll get another gin that's, whoa, wow, that's ginger. Wow. So you never know what you're going to get. But I discovered something by accident. When you're chewing a gin, and you're drinking a lemon-flavored Mountain Dew, the original regular Mountain Dew, that makes that Mountain Dew 100% better than it was without the gin. So I'm going to try an experiment. Y'all can try it too. Let me know what you think. I'm going to give me some ginger ale. I'm going to give me some Mountain Dew. I'm going to do a 3-to-1. 3 ounces of Mountain Dew, 1 ounce of ginger ale. Give me 4 ounces of and I will try that and see if that is a good concoction, and I will adjust from there. And then I will let you know what I thought was the perfect combination of ginger ale and Mountain Dew, because ginger ale adds a goodness that Mountain Dew was lacking all on. So just saying.
Okay, so as far as knitting, that's all I have. I do want to quickly say I did, before we went to DFW, before, like, I planted plants in the garden, and we were told that September in Austin is a good planting time, and that harvest will come before really bad weather hits, and that the second planting is in the end of February. So we're trying it because we have not been successful. I'm used to planting in the spring, in April, and harvesting, you know what I mean, in summer. And it just literally, from the end of April until September, we were in the hundreds, and the plants just did not.
And that could be why those seeds did not turn out. Okay, depending on who you read when we read the reviews on these seeds, some people said these seeds were great, had almost 100% sprout. Some people said these seeds are shit. We got like a 20% sprout. There's everything in between. And so when Valerie planted, she planted assuming a 20% sprout. You explain how you planted, my babies.
So we got these planters, and so some of them are 5-gallon planters and some are bigger. And so what I did is, there's 2 of them that just have tomatoes and
marigolds.
No, the tomatoes have basil with them.
Okay.
And then
how's the basil doing?
Really good. But I did that from a cutoff of another plant, and so that was no big deal. No seeds involved there. And the tomatoes were not from seed. The tomatoes were plants that we got from Walmart, I think. I don't know. We got them from...
I think it was Walmart.
I think Walmart. But the seeds were for habanero. No, I keep saying habanero.
Poblanos
and jalapenos. And so what I did is I put this 5-gallon pot, I put 5 seeds. And this 5-gallon, I put 5 seeds. And this 5-gallon, I put 5 seeds. And this 5-gallon, I put 5 seeds. But it's, this one is jalapeno, and this one is jalapeno. This one is poblano, and this one is poblano.
But she didn't mark them. She just made a map of them.
I just made a map.
And she didn't label the map as to what color container either.
No, I drew circles and said this is what it is. And then the sun was not, because the sun has been going southward. It was no longer where it used to be. So I moved the planters over so that the sun would hit them. And now I have no idea which one is which and what's what. So I think I know, but I'm not certain.
We'll know when they grow.
But and then I also planted marigold seeds in the same planter with the peppers. So
because you're supposed to, according to the pepper experts.
Yeah. So my marigold seeds went like they're going gangbusters. We are going to have a patio full of marigolds because every pot that has marigolds in it, they all sprouted. Choo, 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 choo. We got marigold flowers going crazy. The lettuce I planted didn't come up yet.
Well, it may have had bad experience with not getting watered for 4 days while we were gone.
While we were in, that could have killed it. But anyway, so the marigolds came up no problem. The peppers, I have 1 pot and it has 5 seeds were put in it, and I have 5 plants. So I either have 5 jalapeno plants or I have 5 poblano plants. I'm kind of hoping it's jalapeno, but I'm kind of hoping it's poblano because I love jalapenos in lots of things, and I like eating them, and he knows I like them in my eggs, I like them in my salad. I love them with my fruit. Jalapeno in with my fruit makes me happy.
So you like jalapeno and melon, any kind of melon?
Any melon.
Watermelon,
yes,
melon,
please.
muskmelon.
Makes melon
cantaloupe.
So much more tolerable. Anyway. But I also love eating poblano peppers. I love stuffed poblano peppers. I love them with black beans.
See, that's okay.
Spinach.
This morning I made her something special.
It was so good.
Because I bought some poblano peppers, and one of them was still as good when I got to it this morning. The other one didn't survive our vacation. Not the right word, but anyway. It was not a green poblano. It was a brown poblano. They're called chocolate poblanos. I can tell you right now, they do not taste like chocolate.
No, but they are very good.
They are a poblano pepper that was molested by a habanero.
I just wish there had been more.
There was.
There was not enough.
There was enough. You had an entire... Okay, what I did is I cut it in half, took the seeds out, cleaned it up, put it in, roasted it with some... it was in the middle, and I had tater tots around it. Multi-purpose cooking. In the air fryer. Let it cook. Skin side up. Then I went ahead and I started doing the eggs and whatnot, and when it was done, she brought me over the eggs and the tater tot and the pepper. I put the peppers down. I peeled the peppers. And I'm a dumbass. I did not put on my little plastic gloves. I got a box of plastic gloves so that you can wear them and not contaminate your food with your hands, not contaminate your eyes with your food when you got to rub your eyes because you got allergies. Son of a bitch. I shouldn't have done that. Somebody I know, I help him shave every so often, didn't wear gloves handling the peppers. Didn't think about it. Then he tried a piece of that pepper. That's where he discovered the habanero molestation going on, and decided that these peppers were all for his wife. So I put a layer of roasted pepper after I peeled them with my own little 2 fingers and no gloves. And then I put a layer of tater tots. And then I put a layer of pepper jack cheese. Then I put a layer of fried egg. Oh, I didn't scramble the eggs. I just whipped the eggs up, poured them into an avocado oil hot pan, and let them sizzle up on one side, and then I flipped them over and let them sizzle up on that side. And when they was done sizzling, I put them on top. And they got a little taco seasoning on them when I was cooking them. That was it. That was what I brought to her. And she was happy to have us been fed. And then I went in my room, and she's getting her eating done. She's getting ready for her Zoom, and my eyes itch.
So no, I had actually turned on Zoom, and I was talking with someone, and he comes out, and his eye itches and goes, "Holy!" Yeah, some bad words and all.
I didn't say any bad words because there were people watching, and you want me to be nice, not say bad words.
You didn't
so
say
I tried
really bad words, and you definitely did not say the duckery.
Yeah, well,
The duckery. That's the new word. The duckery.
The duck got off easy on that one. I said it when I was in here. You didn't hear it, so duck's still leaving an egg somewhere.
The duckery.
I love you. But anyway, she had chocolate poblano peppers, and I'm going to tell you right now, anybody that tells you that a chocolate poblano pepper is a mild pepper is a lying mofo, because they are not.
It was not as hot as the jalapenos that get as a regular basis. It was not mild, but it wasn't, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Rub some in your eyes, bubbies.
Well, I don't like any peppers in my eyes.
I rubbed some of my, I tasted it, and that's how come I said, these are yours.
Yes.
And if we have 5 plants of poison, they're all yours. Well, my bro, Homero, I'm sure I can hook Homero up with some peppers, and Homero will be all right with that.
All right, so now that all that is over, I don't want to take too much time, but for those that want to know.
Okay, those that don't want to know the life update, hasta la vista, baby.
If you're not already gone. Anyway.
If you want to know what's going on in our world about health and whatnot, 2 weeks ago, Valerie was very, very sick. That's why we didn't do the show over the weekend. Monday, she was feeling better, so I went ahead and went to my doctor's appointment. I was supposed to have an echocardiogram. I went to the wrong hospital. Didn't get my echocardiogram. Got to reschedule. The next day, I went to a different city, another city 55 miles away, Killeen, Texas, and I had a sleep study done. And I woke up at 3:30 in the morning. One of the numerous times I woke up during the sleep study. They hook you up with wires all over the place, and they glue them to you. And it is a very tenacious glue. It's very hard to get off. You'll know every place you had a probe because it's very hard to get off. Anyway, after my sleep test, I wake up at 3:30 in the morning, and I said, okay, I'm done, I'm leaving. This, but your test isn't over. And I said, yes, it is. It's 3:30 in the morning. I'm awake. I'm awake a lot at 3:30 in the morning because you know when I take my gabapentin? 3:30 in the morning. In fact, right now, 3:30 in the afternoon, I also take a gabapentin. My feet have been screaming at me for an hour, and my chime just went up and said, take your gabapentin. I'm saying, yes, I will. But I get home from my sleep test, and a couple hours after I'm home, a doctor calls me and tells me all about my results. And apparently my heart and my lungs sleep harder than the rest of me. Now they take such a good rest, they just stop working for a little while. That has the doctor concerned, has my wife concerned. I'm kind of concerned about that too. So they said I need a CPAP machine. Okay. Without the CPAP machine, your heart stopping and your breathing stopping is going to kill you. When do I get this wonderful life-saving plug my nose up and breathe through my nose while I'm asleep? October 12th. Fully a month from when he was talking to me. So apparently, while he thinks I'm going to die if I don't have this machine, he doesn't think I'm going to die until after October 12th. So I got that going for me.
Yeah, but it's coming close now.
It's coming closer. It's coming closer. I don't know how much I'm going to dig this sleeping with something stuffed up my nose, but
if it keeps you sleeping and not going away.
If it keeps me alive so I get to be with you, I'll deal with it. I won't be happy about having my nose molested by this machine, but I'll do it because I love you. And from there, I got home, got my results, and within a couple hours of getting my results,
you were ill.
I was ill.
Yeah.
And when I got over being ill, we went to Dallas Fort Worth for a yarn thing.
DFW Fiber Fest.
The DFW Fiber Fest. There's videos on there. I don't know if they're titled an excursion with Nana and Papa.
DFW Fiber Fest.
Yeah, we'll go and retitle them if we can. Keep them excursions, so everybody knows an excursion when it happens. But we went to the excursion, had a good time. I got abandoned a lot. You'll find that in the video because it's only me. And when my wife shows up, oh, look, it's my wife. And then she's gone again. And then she'll show up and I'm like, this is my wife. And you'll hear me tell everybody, my wife abandoned me. My wife abandoned me. My wife abandoned me. It's a common theme because my wife abandoned me. But
you sound like I left you for good.
We had a good time.
Poor pitiful me.
Yes, indeed. That's a song. I believe it was Linda Ronstadt.
Oh, anyway.
Anyway, once we were done with Linda Ronstadt's song, we got to talk to a lot of people. I talked to a lot of people. I don't know if she did. She would tell me she's going to go look for some people. And we're standing in the middle of people, and apparently we were with the wrong people. She didn't want those people.
I was trying to find Tania, and I was trying to find Najiri, who I wanted to see.
And we did find both of them.
I also
when we left,
wanted to try and find Max and Vincent. And I wanted to try to find Treehouse Knits, which I did. And I didn't buy anything because I was being good.
You were being very good, Bubby.
It was hard.
We finished DFW Fiberfest. We're leaving. We make it approximately 10 miles. And the van overheats, and I got to pull over. And that was the start of another journey that took us $1,200 and 3 days to complete.
But that's our fault.
Found out that it doesn't matter if you go through Expedia, rent a rental car, and pay for the rental car. When you get to the counter at the rental car agency, they want you to produce a credit card, not a debit card. They want a credit card, or they won't rent you the car. That's good information to know before you go. We don't have a credit card. Don't really want one. So, this being without a car has now become much more complicated because you can't rent a car without a credit card. I don't know about that. Anyway,
it is what it is for the moment.
Right now, I got my bro is hooking me up, letting me borrow his car when I absolutely need it. So thank you so much, Omero. God bless you, man. And we're trying to sell our car, and we're
just gonna see what happens. I'm trying to find another job, but somebody yesterday or this morning, I don't even remember when, I think it was this morning.
Probably this morning.
Someone suggested to me that I should offer like tutorial
one-on-one
Zoom consults with people when they're trying to fix their crochet or their knitting. And I'm thinking I might do that because that I can do. Like, I'm already kind of doing it. And
for free.
Yeah, and maybe that will help me. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. But I definitely need additional income so that we can save for a vehicle. Because I do not we can't afford another loan or a bill, or I don't make enough for that to be an option at the moment. So we shall see what happens, but for right now we are okay. We do have grocery delivery, and we do have a friend local who is helping us when we need it. And so, and the car, because it's not worth fixing at this point, we're just going to sell it for scrap once we have the title in hand, because we can't seem to find it, which is pretty much a story of my life. Can't seem to find it.
Which I know we have the title. We may have 2 titles for that car in this house somewhere. Where? It's not in our storage box, so God only knows where.
Yeah, I don't know where all my papers are. I thought they were in the safe, and they are not. So
that will be a project to find our important papers and get them back. And I did find our birth certificates.
That's good.
That's good.
Marriage license?
I don't believe it was in there, just the birth certificates.
Oh, well, we'll figure it out. Anyway, so that's where we're at the moment.
A shout out to our friend Tammy, who was just such a blessing to take care of us while we were in Dallas.
If you don't follow Cinematic Skeins, please give her a follow. She also is a rad dyer. Sells hand-dyed yarn sometimes. So, yeah.
She got just a lot of good qualities.
And her Instagram is just awesome. Entertainment.
So, she's a wonderful person. Thank you, Tammy. Appreciate you. That's all we got, folks. We're at 1 hour and 7 minutes, and my wife's going to edit out some of my badness because she does that a lot. She didn't do it as much. She had to do it on the DFW. And
I didn't do the first one very well because...
I'm going to tell all you right now, and if you could put it on the DFW, if you want me to not have pictures of butts and boobs, somebody can buy me a gimbal and send it to me, and then I'll be able to focus that camera all the time. Because if it's right here, I can't see it. I don't know what it's recording. I'm just walking around talking to people. And if I happen to be talking to people and my camera's right there, you know what you're going to get? Boobs. You know what you're going to get if you back up 5 feet and bend over? Butts. There's a lot of boobs and butts. Not my fault I can't see what I'm recording.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
We hope you have a great week, and thank you so much for...
Those of you who follow us, please continue to follow us. Those of you who don't, please start and spread the word. Visit with Nana and Papa. Ooh, we could use it.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.